Hi guys, Rhonda without an H here with you. I have a fun little project for you that I've been working on as I am making a traveler's notebook. I have been playing and making paperclip embellishments. Super simple, really fun, and as you can see, I've made a few. All right, so let's scooch these out of the way, and I will show you my process for these anyway. I picked up at a thrift store a real inexpensive roll of tickets. And these are really cute. They're beer tickets, and I don't drink, and so, you know, if it said root beer, I'd be all over it. But these are perfect, you know, perfect size, perfect. I mean, they're tickets. Hello, who doesn't love tickets for ephemera? And this is a wonderful size to make paperclip embellishments. Paperclip embellishments. And as you can see, it works really nicely. So what you're going to need, or what I used, that is my base, the tickets. And what I do is I rip them. I use two for one paperclip. All right, so you're going to need some images, and I'm a member of graphicsfairy.com. I love their images, and it's wonderful because, you know, I can copy all I need to. Anyway, I'm going to use some inchies from there. I'm also going to use from my, and this will be in my Etsy store. And by the way, I should be up and running by the end of September. Maybe before, but definitely by the end of September. A couple of pages that these are also, this is the base, and then this is, I don't know, base 2? background. These are the backgrounds. And then these small inchies are part of the embellishments. And lace. And lace. But look at this, you guys. This is just, seriously, this is junk stuff that, you know, you wouldn't really. But it's this, when you put it with something like, I mean, they just are so sweet. You add it, and all of a sudden, you know, it's magic. So, all right. So, I'm going to gather a few more things together, and we'll get started. All right. So, I am putting my paperclip embellishments together with a double-sided tape. Part of those that I showed you earlier, they were glued, and you know, and you can do that. And then I remembered that I had picked up some double-sided tape, pretty inexpensive in Joann's the other day, and it was like, oh, why am I not using that? So, double-sided tape, and then stamping ink that you can, with a little, you know, a dauber, a sponge, or whatever it is that you want to use, to go around the edges, of course, your paper clips, and cutting, being able to cut it in some way. So this is what I did with the sheet that I printed out. I put mine on so that it would print the full size of the full page, but there's always a teeny little border. So I cut the border off all around. And then what I did, and then my tickets are 1 inch by 2 inches. So what I did, I want my background to cover this. And for those of you that are cool into beer, you know, then yeah, do it this way. I did mine this way, so this was on the back, but hey, it doesn't matter. Or whatever ticket you find or whatever you decide to make. So then I cut my strips on my paper 2 1/8 inches wide so that it would just barely cover. And this way, yes, this way 1 1/8 so that it would barely cover. So whatever you use as your base, then that's, you want to cut your paper just a smidgen wider and longer so that it will cover it, if that's the look you're going for. So you can see that I have started. I will continue cutting these up, and the whole idea of this is to work on a whole bunch at once. So my plan is to do this whole sheet of paper. I don't remember how many tags, but I'm going to count and see how many tags it makes. Tags, paperclip embellishments, how many it will make all together. And as you can see, this is the cool thing about, because this was collaged with different ephemera. Look, already I've got all these different backgrounds that are going to be used. And anyway, I'm excited. I'll be back. Okay, I've gotten a few more things together that I do. Cutting up my paper the sizes that I told you previously, 2 1/8 inches by 1 1/8 inches this way. I got 35. And as you can see, I've got some wonderful different backgrounds that are going to work perfectly. And the little inchy sheet that I printed off from graphicsfairy.com, that gave me 42 of these. Now, the next step that I did was to, with a corner rounder, just corner rounding everything. All my edges. I won't bore you with doing that. When I was done with that, and a lot of these things, when you're working on so many, this is great to, like a binge watching of YouTube videos or some fun series on TV or whatever it might be. So it's just kind of mindless. You're listening to other things or listening to good music and you're just doing. So I did all of them. And then I took a sponge and an edge, and I went around the whole thing, okay? I didn't worry about the back, but I did want to give that aged look there. So, and that takes a few minutes. These aren't hard. They just take a little bit, but when you're done, it's like, oh, wow, I've got them to last forever. Okay, so the next thing I did, and I had cut these apart, and, you know, however you want to do that. And then I just started to do a little bit of ripping all around. And this is while I'm watching and listening to other things, because this is really not something I'm going to show you how to do. All right. So I did that. Did all of my little inchies, or there may be a little bit more than an inchy. And then I edged these as well. And I wasn't really particular. I just, you know, slapped it on. All right. So then it was time. It's time to assemble. Oh, I didn't tell you this. Before I did the assembly, I cut off, you know, I just cut little bits and pieces. I had a whole pile going to, you know, to take care of that. And just for, let's see, actually I need to do one. And this corner rounder that I used, I have a better one, but this is just handy. If you're not really careful, it does some weird corners. But that's okay too, because it just gives it, you know, it makes it just a little bit more unique. All right, so I'm going to assemble one for you, and you'll see how super simple it is, and you'll be like, oh, I've got to make a bazillion of these guys. So I have 2 tickets, and I take a piece of double-sided tape and I cut it off. I'll use my bone folder to crease it to make sure it's down nicely. I just grab a little corner, take the paper off, grab a paper clip, and you decide which side you want to be on the inside and on the outside of your paper clip. I'm choosing to have the small part be on the inside. See? Okay. So then I just close this up. How clever is that, huh? All right. So our base with the paper clip is done. I mean, hello. So the next step I want to do is to put this on. All right. Let's grab some more double-sided tape. And this double-sided tape, let's measure it. It's actually 3/4 of an inch, this particular one. It comes, I haven't often seen it this big, but I have seen it in 1/2 inch, and I've seen it in 1/4 inch, and I use that quite a bit. Okay, so we do the same there, and I lay it down this way. First of all, I look at this and say, okay, do I want this to clip from the right side? Do I want to clip it from the left side? Do I want to clip it from the top or the bottom? So you have choices. Now this looks like a top to me, so this is going to be a right side. So I want my paper clip to be on the right side. And I just set it down and I kind of eyeball it. Oh, hello! Is that simple? So simple. And then it's the decorating. And that consists of, for these particular ones, getting a little piece of lace. Now this is probably going to be the hardest part for me. Ooh, it's ready. I like Recollections glue. It's a mixed media adhesive, and I use it a lot. But when the bottle gets down to about like this, the top, it's just hard to get the glue out sometimes. So I'm going to just kind of smoosh a little glue on there, and then I'm going to take my lace, figure out which is the right side, just kind of scrunch it on, and when it dries completely, I mean, it's a very good glue. And remember this little piece that I ripped and then edged around with a sponge there? Well, I also have some, what do they call this, you guys? It's a tape, but it's got a little bit of height to it. You can use it, I mean, it's easy to find. You can just get it in Walmart, and it's not very expensive, but I use just a little bit. It's also double-sided, but instead of being flat, it's got just a smidgen of height. So I put the sticky edge down. I take the tab, off the tape. And this one says wander. So where do I want it? I think we'll just do that for now. Easy peasy. And this part is super fun. When you get to, you get it all cut and you get the corners rounded and you get the edging, with your ink pad and all of that, then look what you've got. Look what you've got, guys. Just some wonderful fun. I just throw it in the pile there. So I'm going to work on the rest of these. Anyway, I hope I've given you just a little bit of something that's fun, quick, and when you're done, you've got a bazillion of these wonderful paperclip embellishments. All right. Until next time, guys, have a fabulous day. Bye now.